Hi there. Currently it's 3:35 in the morning. I just finished a little bit of my homework. I have to wake up probably around maybe 8 or 9 and try and hack out the rest of it. My life is pretty good at the moment. I do apologize, some of the volume's been a little bit off lately. I've been a little under the weather, so it's been kinda quiet, and I do apologize for that. This week, I decided I wanted to talk about something a little different than normal. You might be thinking, why? Why are we changing the topic? You didn't even finish the last one. The real reason for me stopping is not because I ran out of material, is because I was actually lacking the link that actually binds me as a person to this culture which is known as being a nerd. I do like being a nerd quite a bit. This week's topic is actually going to be about me growing up and what it was like for me to be adopted. Growing up, a lot of it for me was pretty difficult because I was the only real Asian person. There's Asian people and then there's not Asian people like me. I am definitely not an Asian person. I act fairly Caucasian. I get called Twinkie quite a bit by some of my friends, and I don't mind that nickname at all because I think it's actually pretty comical and I laugh at it. Being the only Asian person and not really having any sort of an identity, you kind of just grasp whatever you can possibly find. I got teased a lot when I was younger. Now, not so much. Well, I do still get teased because I'm a nerd. That's just part of what happens. So that was part of my initial seclusion into becoming a nerd, was the fact that growing up I had friends, but I wasn't really the most social, simply for the fact that I just didn't have an identity. And it's really difficult to actually establish something like an identity when you're growing up and you're having to grow up a little bit faster than everyone else simply because you just don't know who you are. It's kind of like racing to the finish line when you really don't know where the finish line is. I actually met my first Asian person, Dan Shibley. I do appreciate everything that he's done for me over the years. He's a really good friend of mine, but he was my first real Asian friend. Being adopted kind of shoved me into this hole, I guess, for trying to figure out who I was as a person, and it's been a pretty wayward journey trying to figure out exactly who I was until I realized that I'd never get that from experience anything and trying to meet as many people as possible and seeing how many different personalities might fit me. And it all kind of just came to me after, 26 years now? I just finally realized that I was just me. Kind of a nerd, a bit of a dork. I don't like identifiers, like I said in the last video. Being adopted, you just don't have anyone you can identify with. It's really difficult coming up to people and just saying hi. I mean, I still have a difficulty doing that today. After a lot of practice, you'll get used to it, but you'll never feel comfortable. I mean, if you're just not used to being an extroverted person, and if you're an adopted kid, I totally understand where you might be coming from at the moment. I've probably been there. And if you're not, I do encourage you to talk to those adopted kids. The kids that just seem really out of place and out of their element all the time, those are going to be the kids that end up either secluding themselves in their basement and not having any friends and doing something absolutely horrible, or they'll be the people that you'll be looking back at later on when you're at your class reunions saying, I really wish that guy was my friend back in the day. Make friends with the people that look the shyest simply for the fact that they'll be cool people too. You just have to give them the chance. So that's it for this week's vlog. If you'd like to check out any of my other vlogs, I'll post them all along the bottom here. And I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe and drop me a lot of comments, because I appreciate that quite a bit. And I'll try to respond to them within a week's time frame, and if not, I will dedicate a piece of my next video to you. I hope you all had a great week, and thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoy watching. Bye.